Yes, we are recording. So I know I already showed you guys bio. I'm gonna try to read aloud. All right, so Josh's bio. Josh is a member of the John Maxwell team who specializes in putting personal development into language that network marketers can understand. I just want to make sure that I'm muting everybody before I continue. I love that. He has trained thousands in training groups, helping people every month to increase their focus, motivation, sales, and income. Josh has one-on-one mentored over top 10 coaches and superstar diamonds. That's 15 star diamonds in the company. Josh is the #1 best-selling author of F Leadership and the host of your Push Coach podcast. I can't wait to get into the podcast, and I'm already obsessed with this book. I post it all the time, honestly, I have to kind of read it a little bit slow because every page I'm like I don't want to take too much information and not be able to take action on it. I'm so obsessed with it. So yeah, Josh's message will leave you inspired and ready to work toward your dreams. I think this is all coming at the most perfect time, and I'm so excited to have you. You can just go ahead, Josh.
Oh, thanks, girl. I appreciate it. And it's awesome. I mean, I think so. I have a podcast, and because of that, I have an assistant who messages other bestsellers, asking them if they want to be on my podcast. In reality, 99% of those books I haven't read. We're just oh, best-selling author, do you want to be on our podcast? So it's really cool when you hop on a call with someone that's actually reading your book, because, there's a really big difference between, oh, hey, here's a book, this guy wrote it, and this guy, I'm actually reading his book. So thank you, Haley. I appreciate that a lot. My homegirl, Rachel Bodie, reached out to me and said that Haley had dropped some quotes from my book, and I was like, I didn't know anybody had my book, actually. I'm just kidding. So I'm excited to be here tonight and I'm going to talk about my book. I'm going to give you a little bit of a breakdown of the book in kind of a presentation style, because 99% of you have not bought the book. The 1% that's left, probably Haley's the only one actually reading it, which is fine. I don't take any offense to that. It's not on Audible yet. I get it. It'll be on Audible in January. Okay. Hang with me. But tonight I want to give you kind of a presentation style, because even if you are reading it, even if you are, diving in with the highlighter, sometimes it's just cool to hear it in person. And it's actually kind of funny how much more people are willing to pay to watch you talk on video than they are to buy your book. I could have literally taken everything in this book and launched it as a $7,000 training course and probably had more people sign up than what would actually pay $10 for a book, which is kind of hilarious. But it just goes to show you guys, this from social media, people love a personal connection, right? People don't want to just read what you have to say. They want to feel what you're feeling. So it's really cool to get to come on here and get to some of you are oh, I've already heard that, but tonight you get to feel it. And that's totally different. And I hope that my book made you feel it, but there's just nothing that makes you feel it like actually seeing and hearing someone. So tonight, I know we've got some familiar faces on here. Hi, Candace. What's up, girl? I know you've been on some calls with me over the last couple of years. Probably many of you. I can't say hi to all of you, but so good to see familiar faces. So happy to be here. So let's dive in. Okay. The whole point of this book was I've spent the last 5.5 years working with network marketers, listening to people give me the same BS excuses over and over and over and over. And I'm just going to lead this off by telling you that, first of all, I have all of the empathy in the world for your pain and your suffering, because I've been there. Okay. My whole 20s, detailing cars for a living, no paid vacation, no paid sick time, was literally working through some of the worst sickness in the world. Basically, if I wasn't vomiting, I made myself get in the car, go to work, detail cars. In the middle of winter, we had no heating. We had one little heating unit, which doesn't really work very well in an all glass shop where people open garage doors every 5 minutes. So literally you'd be wearing gloves and your hands freezing cold, and you'd be spraying chemicals on the car, and the chemicals would freeze onto the car. It's ridiculous. I hated this job with a passion. It barely paid the bills. Constantly checking the bank account, constantly watching it go negative, constantly trying to calculate how many late fees could we possibly take on without like trying to decide, like at what point do we have to just like, do we starve or we take another like late fee? Like what do we do here? Right. And so I empathize all of the empathy in the world for your pain, but I'm gonna be super real and honest with you. I have zero sympathy for your excuses, because guys, excuses don't pay bills. Excuses don't hit Success Club. Excuses don't rank advance you. Excuses don't do shit. The only thing excuses do is keep you in your shit. That's all they do. And if anything, the excuse actually causes you to relive the trauma of the shit over and over and over and over. So at some point, at the age of 30, I had to look myself in the mirror and I had to say, bro, is this what we're going to be stuck with for the rest of our life, or are we going to do something about it? And at some point, I had to take ownership. And I had to say, from now on, I'm taking ownership for my success and my failure. And I'll tell you, my whole first year, guys, I only made $500. Okay. I was not the success story that the National Wake Up Call wanted to feature. I was not the guy that people were posting about in the Beachbody Champions page. I was not the guy. If anything, I was the guy that John Maxwell was like talking about at like the meeting. Like, do we really want to let this guy even like wear the name John Maxwell? Does he need to maybe remove that from his Facebook profile? Like, I don't need, like, we're a little ashamed of this guy. That's the guy I was. Has anybody ever felt like you're that person? You ever feel like, man, some people make this look so easy and some people make this look so fun and exciting. And it's like, they like hashtag woke up like this. And I'm like over here just struggle city trying to figure out what the hell's happening today. Like homegirl just completed 100 days worth of workouts and I'm just trying to figure out how to make it to day 3. Homegirl over here just hit Success Club 500 and I'm just trying to figure out what to post on Instagram today. Okay. I was on that struggle bus, but in spite of being on that struggle bus, I made the decision, bro, you got to fix this. And here's the thing. I'm going to be real honest with you. I didn't know if I could. I didn't know if I could fix this. I didn't have some just like magical super confidence. Some of you think successful people got some like magical super confidence, and that's bullshit. None of us do. I had every doubt and fear and worry you could possibly imagine, but here's the difference. Jillian Michaels says that you will change when the pain of staying the same becomes worse than the pain of change. Guys, the change sucks. Like change really, really sucks. It hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like sending, hey girls, okay? I invented that. Like none of you know this because maybe you haven't known me long enough, but I invented the hey girls. You guys made it annoying, but I invented it, okay? Some of you have been around long enough, you know I literally taught you how to send hey girls in the art of recruiting. Technically, the structured version of it came from my good friend Alexis Doss, but I was sending, hey girl, I'm on the John Maxwell team. I don't know if you've ever heard of me or seen what I'm doing on social media, but I just wanted to see if you'd be interested in a free one-on-one consultation to see if there's anything I can do to help you with your goals. If you've been around long enough, you might have one of those sitting in your like message requests. Haley might have one. I honestly don't know. It might be chilling in her Facebook Messenger right now from like 5 years ago. And I hated it. And it sucked. Because every single message I sent, I was thinking this. Somebody's going to think that this isn't genuine. Somebody's going to think that I'm doing this just because I want to sign another client. Somebody's going to message me back and be like, what the hell is your problem, bro? Leave me alone. And I just had to make this decision. Anybody else on here a people pleaser? Show me some jazz fingers if you a people pleaser. We got some people pleasers on the call? Yeah, we do. Beachbody coaches, whole bunch of people pleasers, okay? That's the whole community and purpose draws in us people pleasers like crazy, right? And at some point, I just had to decide, I've got kids on the other side of that door. How dare I be so worried about what homegirl on Instagram thinks of me that I let down the kids on the other side of that door? And I just made the decision, this sucks, but it doesn't suck as bad as staying the same. It doesn't suck as bad as continuing to calculate the price of the groceries as I walk through the store and praying to God I'm not off by $2 because my card's about to get declined in front of everybody. And I'm not talking about getting declined at Target. I couldn't afford to go to Target. I'm talking about getting declined at Walmart, okay? Nothing worse than being at Walmart trying to decide if you can afford stuff, okay? It's already depressing enough at Walmart. On top of that, how about kids come home from school with birthday party invitations? And it's not like I intentionally threw them away, but it's not like I put them on the calendar or put them anywhere where we'd find them either. Because I knew daddy don't have enough money to buy them a birthday present. My kids, like I want to go back. I want to go back in the past and just punch myself in the face and say, grow the F up, bro. You're going to tell me you can't find a way to go make some extra money to get your kids to a birthday party? Like, grow the F up. But in my head, I was doing everything I could do. And to be perfectly honest, I was doing everything I knew to do. But at some point, I had to realize I need to learn something new. I don't know why I told you all that. None of that's in the book. It has nothing to do with the book. But I feel like you needed to hear it, okay? Here's what's in the book. These 4 M's. Oh, okay. Now I remember why I was saying it. There was a reason. The reason I said all of that is because we've turned leadership, the word leadership, into this really stupid thing that really is more celebrity than it is what a real leader does. You see, me looking myself in the mirror and saying, bro, it's time to grow up, was the most leader thing I've ever done. Now I travel around, speak on stage at Super Saturdays, put on my own pre-summit event. Me and Chris Downing are doing some calls and some groups together now. And all of that stuff looks really sexy, but none of it is leadership. That's just me doing my job. Leadership is when something's really, really, really hard, but it's what needs to be done, so you do it. If you sent out your Hey Girls today, you were a leader today, because that shit's hard. If you got vulnerable on social media today and talked about the fact that this isn't easy and that sometimes you struggle, but you push through the pain to make something happen, you were a leader today. If today someone messaged you and said, oh my God, I hate your guts, those are fake transformation pictures, those are fake tattoos, like what the hell is that even to send somebody? Those are fake tattoos because the pictures got like mirrored or something. Like if you had to get one of those messages today, you're a leader. But because you have seen what successful people start to look like and start to sound like once they've been doing it for long enough to get success. And yes, now they built their dream house. And yes, now they have a large following. And yes, now they're pretty good on stage. But that is not the leadership. That is the result of the leadership they put in for long enough to get to the point where they had those things. And you're looking and saying, well, I can't be a leader because I don't have big enough of a following. Well, a leader doesn't need a following, okay? A leader just needs to show up. You say, well, I mean, how can I recruit people, Josh? I don't even know how to be successful. I've never been successful. Being successful isn't being a leader. Being a leader is asking someone to take a step of faith and join your team, even though you're a little bit confused about what the hell to do with them once they join your team. That's being a leader. Being a leader is saying, I don't know exactly where we're going, but I know I'm going. And if you want to come with me, let's freaking roll. That's being a leader. And so people have taken this word leader and turned it into something it's not, and use it as your excuse not to do any of the work it takes to eventually become a leader. That's kind of like saying, I can't work out because I'm 100 pounds overweight. Do you know what I would say to someone who was 100 pounds overweight? And this is not shaming in any way. I would say, that's why we need to work out. That's not a good reason to not work out. Now, you might have to do the modifiers, okay? You might not be like jumping up and doing them crazy Jericho jumps. Like, I don't know what the hell she's even doing in the air. Like, what, like, maybe because she's only like 4'10", maybe it's easier. I don't know. She's kind of a badass. But you may not be able to do that. But the fact that you're 100 pounds overweight is all the reason we should be working out, right? I'm naturally really scrawny. Like really scrawny. Like I'm 148 pounds as a grown adult before I do Body Beast. Body Beast got me up to like 165, which is still a pretty small dude, right? But me having tiny little arms was the worst reason in the world to excuse myself from working out. It was more like, no, bro, look in the mirror. That should be enough motivation to pick up some weights like right now. And also go eat like 1,000 grams of protein. Notice how we like to make excuses about our current stat for why we shouldn't do the thing that would eventually get us to the thing we actually want or need in life. And so I wrote this book to say, you know what? F leadership. Screw this whole principle. This whole idea that we've made out of it is bullshit. Here's what leadership is. 4 things. Model, motivate, mentor, multiply. Model, motivate, mentor, multiply. That's what the whole book is about. Okay? So I'm going to spend most of the time on the first M because that's what most people need. Okay? The first M is model. I believe it was Danielle Natoni that said a couple years ago on the National Wake Up Call, every night before you go to bed, ask yourself, if my team did the behaviors that I did today, would they be successful? And if the answer is no, there's the problem. It all starts with you. My girls pushing for elite, this is what I tell them. Here's the thing. You have to take control even when it feels like you don't have control. Because you don't want to leave anything in the world up to somebody else. I am so sick and tired of people telling me, Josh, I mean, I can't rank advanced because, you know, other people are involved. I can't control other people. Really? Is there anybody that got a like or a comment on your social media post today? Did anybody raise your hand if you got any likes or any comments? Now tell me how you did that if you can't control people. Now you did something that got someone else to take action. You may not be able to control people, but if you're smart enough to take control, you say, you know what? My engagement sucks. Maybe I'm going to go learn from someone that has better engagement than me and find out what it is they do to get more people involved. Now, here's what's crazy. If you can get someone to like or comment on a post, that is the exact same principle as getting someone to take action, to sell, to recruit, or to rank advance. It is the exact same principles. Problem is, you didn't really want to do the work that it takes. And so you came up with an excuse to make yourself feel better about doing nothing. That's all an excuse is, guys. It's just a way to make yourself feel better for doing nothing. Well, I just don't have time, Josh. I have family. Here's my favorite one. Here's my favorite one in the world. I have a full-time job. Like everyone else in the world is working part-time jobs, and you're the only human out there with kids working a full-time job. And it's funny, they always like overemphasize full-time. Josh, I'm so busy, I have a full-time job. No shit. A full-time job? Are you for real right now? I hear that the only people that can succeed are people that have part-time jobs. Damn, girl, if you got a full-time job, never mind. Just go ahead and keep skipping out on the vitals. We will understand. If you got kids, if you got a job, if you got 3 jobs, I can show you 1,000 success stories of someone who is busier than you. Micah Folsom pops out a kid like every 7 days. Like I don't know how she does it. Homegirl has had, I believe, 4 kids while running a business. That's 4. Like I have 4 total, and I'm going to tell you, 4 kids is a lot. She's given birth to 4 kids, just like in the last 4. Like she's got 4 toddlers running around. Seriously, one-on-one coaching calls. I would hop on a call with her, and she'd be breastfeeding on the one-on-one call. And I'm like, anyone has an excuse is they just need to hop on a call with Micah right now, because homegirl's breastfeeding and having a one-on-one call with me while inviting, like at the same time, like not even looking at her phone. I'm like, Micah, are you here? She's like, yeah, I'm good. Keep talking, Josh. I got this. And she's just like inviting people with one thumb over here. I'm like, oh, okay, well then let's just keep chatting. The thing is, you don't want to do what it takes. You want the prize and you want the reward, but you don't want to do what it takes because it's hard. And I'm just on a quest to be the one person in the world that is super honest with you about the fact it's hard. It's not easy. Show me a picture of someone on IG telling you that it's easy, and I will call bullshit over and over and over. You have no idea how much work. Now, some of these girls are like, oh, it's just all easy and fun and it's not work. And I'm like, why don't you show people what you were doing 3 years ago to get 80,000 followers before you started meditating 12 hours a day and telling everyone that it's easy? It might be easy for you now because you hustled for 4 years and now you got like 7 figures of residual income. But that's not the same message you were preaching 4 years ago. It's hard. Just like fitness, guys. It's hard to work out every day, right? It's hard to eat broccoli instead of pizza. I'm not saying you can't have pizza. We all know you can have pizza, okay? But you get what I'm trying to say here, right? But at some point, we got to get over our excuses and we got to just say it out loud. I just need you to say this out loud. I am ready to get over my own shit and do this. At some point, you just have to admit out loud, these are my excuses and they are bullshit. And that'll make it easy, but you got to be honest. Because if you're not honest with yourself, growth can never happen. Growth cannot happen when you lie to the person in the mirror. At some point, you got to say, here's the thing. I want to have a girl tribe. I want to have my own girls at Summit with me. I want to rent out some type of Airbnb and have a retreat and have everybody take a picture on the beach together where we're all jumping in the air and we're so happy. But at the end of the day, if I'm not willing to show up every single day and do the work it takes to build this business, I don't deserve that. And I still have to have these talks with myself. A couple weeks ago, I was frustrated. The book launch was exhausting. I worked a little too hard on it. And I got myself sick and I was frustrated. I was having a shitty day. And I was like, man, why does this got to be so hard? Got to do this stupid to-do list. I don't want to do no to-do list today. I don't want to do that. Like F leadership, F my to-do, like literally F all of this. And then I had to have some real talk with myself and be like, bro, it's on your goals to be a millionaire. Okay? Now my business has done a couple million, but there's a really big difference between selling $1 million and actually having $1 million in your bank account. That's a really big difference. So do you really think, are you really so stupid that you think millionaires are sitting around on a Wednesday skipping their to-do list? Are you really that dumb? And I just had to, guys, I'm a push coach because this is how I talk to myself. Are you really so stupid that you think that there are some people like Grant Cardone that are just sitting around smoking a cigar and millions of dollars just showing up without him doing it? Grant Cardone was probably up at like 2 o'clock this morning, and he probably did 15 sales calls before I got out of bed. That dude means business. That dude taught me push coach. He's the reason I changed my name to push coach, because I started listening to Grant Cardone and being like, honestly, some of this life coach stuff is bullshit. Somebody needs some tough love. I'm done asking people questions, and I'm about to tell them some shit. I got that from Grant Cardone. I don't always cuss this much, but I could just feel Haley like she was down with it. Also, I heard her speak a couple of years ago on stage, and she was one of the bigger potty mouths. I'm like, okay, I got some freedom on this call. I got to be careful sometimes on calls, right? I got to be like, oh, whoops, nobody laughed at that. Pull it back, Josh. We're going to be real tonight. So I need you to say, if I want to have a team to motivate, if I want to have people to mentor, I got to show up first. Number one, I must show up. Now, can I talk to my diamonds? We got some diamonds on the call. Show me some jazz fingers if we got some diamonds. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to get what you think is a team. And you're going to go, man, I did all the hard work. Now it's time to go motivate and mentor everybody. And you're going to forget about what got you to diamond. And you're going to forget that you have to keep moving the thing forward, because modeling is the foundation of the house. And some of you want to move on too fast to putting up some fancy artwork and getting your West Elm furniture. And the thing is, your house ain't ready for no West Elm furniture. Okay? You need a solid foundation, or that house is going to fall apart. And even once you start filling it with West Elm furniture, you can't let go of the foundation, or it's going to be like an earthquake inside your house. And I watch person after person either go diamond or even go elite, and then go, man, I did all the hard work. Now I'm just going to help my girls. I'm just going to help them go somewhere, going to help them do something. 6 months later, you haven't recruited a single human being, and the girls you thought were your team, you found out were drunk fans. So I want to teach you this one very simple analogy that's going to help you to understand the difference between motivate and mentor, and how it fits into your business, and how you create boundaries that protect you to make sure you keep moving forward, okay? I call it the football stadium analogy. And I talk about this in my book, okay? Because you call it your team, and you call it your team page, when people sign up to be a coach, you think, oh, homegirl is all in. She told me she wants this. She told me she wants to go 27,000 star. She told me she wants to quit her job by like next month. She told me, tell me what to do, and I will do it. And here's what you do, because you're stupid. You believe her. You're like, oh my God, yes. You tell your husband, you're like, this is finally going to work. We're going to get that dream house and that dream car, and we're actually going to earn our cruise this year instead of paying for it, because I finally got this girl that is like all in. She said she's going to do this thing. You should have saw her. She was so excited. 2 days later, homegirl isn't even on Instagram or Facebook anymore. She got abducted by aliens, and nobody knows where she is. Am I right or am I right? Now, here's the problem. You thought you had a team and that people were joining the team. In reality, you have more of a football stadium. And when someone signs up with you, they don't know what they really want. Just like 1,000 people a day tell you that they really want to lose weight, but they won't even use a blender to fix Shakeology, right? Like, oh my God, it's just too hard. It's just too much work. I don't know. Use your fucking blender. Get some almond milk, get some almond butter, throw in a scoop of Shakeology, done. 30 seconds, done. You telling me that that's harder than fixing a meal? I don't know. Like, I don't even know what to tell you right now, right? Okay? So you got to say, here's the thing. If challengers are flakes, Why would I be stupid enough to think that someone that says they want to be a coach is anything different? Like, I'm just going to tell you guys, people are flakes. And I love people. And that's why I do what I do, because I love people. But I'm not stupid enough to trust people that I just met yesterday on Instagram next to hashtag Alabama Fitness. Okay? You don't know this girl. You don't know nothing about her. And honestly, if you do know her, oh, even more to worry about, right? Like, no drama there, right? So here's what you got to do. You got to say, homegirl just signed up, okay? She just got invited into the stadium. She's sitting in the stands. But she ain't on the team until she goes through proper tryouts. In other words, she's got to earn my trust by the level of activity she's willing to put in. Just because I call it a team page doesn't mean that these girls are committed the way I'm committed. Now, maybe not a lot of sports fan on here. Haley's man in the background may be the only other sports fan. He's going to roll with me, okay? I don't know about you, bro, but like if I'm a KU Jayhawk basketball fan, okay? And if I'm in the stands and the coach comes up to me and says, hey, coach, you want to go in and play a few plays? I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like ripping off my shirt. I'm like, give me a jersey. Let's go. I'm jumping in, right? But if he says, hey, dude, you want to wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow and go run 7 miles with us? I'm like, nah, I'm good. I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. But I cannot run 7 miles anymore. I'm like 35. I'm not 19 anymore. Like, I appreciate the offer. If you want, I'll come and watch you guys, and maybe you can sign an autograph for me. I want in the game, but I don't want to have to live up to the commitment that they have to live up to earn the game. Oh, Wichita boy. No way. I'm from Wichita as well. Wichita, Kansas. That's right. So here's the thing. The reason you got tricked is because you're putting on a show. You're putting on a show, and people want to be a part of that. And people see what you do, and they're like, damn, that girl looks happier. That girl looks more confident. I don't know exactly what she's doing. I don't know about this unicorn juice stuff, but like, I think I won in this game. You should appreciate the fact that anyone wants to sign up at all, whether they ever do anything with it or not, because it means you're putting on a show. But don't let that trick you into thinking that everyone who wants to be a part of the show is willing to do the kind of work it takes to play in the game. And so here's the big mindset change I want you to start having, okay? I go to Super Saturdays. I speak. There's one specific Super Saturday in Dallas that Autumn was also there, okay? VIP ticket meant you got to get your picture with Josh and Autumn, and you got to sit up front. Now, any Super Saturday I've ever been to, usually it's like $20 to get in, $40 for VIP. That's pretty normal, okay? In Dallas, because people in Dallas are crazy and a little over the top. If you're from Dallas, I love you, but you guys are just, you're a little much for me, okay? $25 to get in or $100 for VIP. We're talking 4 times the amount to get your picture taken with me and Autumn and sit up front. And VIP sold out in like 48 hours. Like that. Every single person wanted the VIP. Now, imagine if I show up at the event and the people that come up to get their picture taken with me, I'm like, now, you spent extra money on this VIP. Did you send extra invites this week? And they're like, no, actually, I haven't invited in like 3 weeks. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Taking away your VIP ticket, I'm giving it to someone who earned this. Can you imagine if I did? That would be a really asshole thing to do, right? Like if homegirl paid the extra money for VIP, just let her have her VIP. I don't ever have any extra strings attached to people who want to pay to get their picture taken with me. And in fact, I see them as my best customers. I'm like, girl, you paid an extra $75 to get your picture with me? Let's be real. They paid $75 to get their picture with Autumn, but I'm going to like pretend it was also for me. I'm like, give me a hug, girl. Let's get this picture, man. Oh, you want to take a selfie too? Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. Because you didn't understand the football stadium analogy, you thought they all joined your team. You thought homegirl was the worst teammate in the world. In reality, she was the best customer ever. You just put the wrong title on her ticket, and you put expectations that didn't need to be there in someone who should have been your favorite customer turned into your hated teammate. You're like, I can't stand this girl, homegirl, always on the team call, saying she's going to do something and then never does something. I might be talking to a few people right now. Always on the team call. She wears her Beachbody tank top and got her bobblehead from 9 months ago, but homegirl hasn't done nothing lately. And what you ought to be doing is saying, damn, you're telling me you don't even care about this the way I do, and you still love me so much that you're willing to pay extra money to sit up front, get Beachbody t-shirts, take Energize before you don't work out, but like whatever. Like, I should say you are my favorite customer in the world. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going out of my way to try to like mentor you and have one-on-one calls with you and try to motivate you. But here's what happens, because you don't understand this analogy. You spend 90% of your time up in the bleachers trying to motivate drunk fans to go to practice on Monday. And I'm just going to tell you that's exhausting. And one of the number one reasons you think you suck so bad as a leader is because you're trying to lead the wrong people altogether. No wonder you suck. Imagine me just going out into the streets of Tulsa here and just grabbing random people and trying to motivate them to build their Instagram. You're going to be like, what the fuck you doing, bro? Get off me. Just like trying to go down here and get something to eat. And I'm like, don't you know? Instagram's where it's at. Don't you know you could be building a business from home? And like, dude, the hell is your problem? I just got off work. Leave me alone. And that's what you guys are doing to people. You got people in the team page that you are harassing and sometimes even manipulating to try to get them to do what you want them to do because you misunderstood the agreement. And so you're exhausted, you're worn out, you're defeated. And I just need you to remember, guys, if challengers are flakes, coaches are going to be flakes. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. I still love people. I love people enough to create the boundary. See, some of you think, because you were 2 on the Enneagram. Anybody know anything about the Enneagram? Some of you think because you were 2 on the Enneagram that you can just serve people into wanting to do what you want them to do. But you serve and you serve and you serve and you give and you give and you give. And then one day you realize, I've done all of this for nothing. And you get pissed and you get a little hostile with people. Because you realize you were in it for something. Can I tell you something about leadership? This is hard. This is really hard. You got to find a way not to be in it for something. You got to find a way to say, you know what? I love you so much. I'm going to lead the way and show you what it could look like, but I ain't got no strings attached whatsoever as to whether or not you want to come along. If you've ever read The Energy Bus, it's like one of my favorite analogies of what a true leader looks like. Because here's the thing, a lot of times I think we see the mountain is a really good growth analogy, but it's a really bad leadership analogy. Let me explain why. A lot of times we see growth as climbing the mountain, right? Problem with that is if you outclimb other people, you feel like you left them behind. And so you're constantly coming down the mountain trying to motivate and rally everyone together. In reality, you just aren't going anywhere. They aren't going anywhere. You need to see leadership. You need to see leadership as a bus route that you run. You're the driver, and you got a destination you were going to go to every single day. And if someone doesn't want to join you today, you didn't leave them behind because you're coming back around tomorrow. And you are going to come back around day after day after day after day after day after day after day. We don't ever leave anyone behind because we don't really ever leave, but we do have somewhere we have to go, or there's really no point in having a bus route. There's no point in having a business. There's no point in any of this. You got to say, here's the thing. I got a destination that I promised people that I was going to go to and that I was going to take them to. If I don't live up to that promise, I'm a liar, and that's on me. So I'm going to take this bus, and we're going to make our circle today and drop off everybody where they need to go, not where I want them to go, where they need to go. And then I'll be back around tomorrow. And you know what? If you're not ready to get on that bus, that's fine. Sit there and watch us over and over and over and over. And you will see so many happy and confident and fulfilled people get off this bus that eventually you're like, damn it, I don't care where it's going, I'm getting on. But I'm just going to tell you right now, most people will sit and watch you for the rest of their life and never get on, and that's okay too. Because if you don't go somewhere, nobody's going to get on. Nobody buys tickets to get on the bus that's been parked for 2 years. Some of you have been parked for 2 years. Some of you just been hanging around, waiting for somebody else to save your business. That's bullshit. That's not what a leader does. A leader takes ownership and says, you know what? I don't care if I don't even have an engine on the bus. I'll put this thing in neutral and I will push it. And I'll still find a way to get where I need to go. And if you want to come along, we'll find a way to get you there too. But I have to go somewhere today. And if I can do that, if I can find a way to emotionally unattach myself and just say, this is the path that I'm going to go on. You can join me or you can watch me, but either way I'm going. Here's what happens. Somebody, not everybody, somebody will finally actually get on the bus with you and take you at your word. And you will find out you are a way better leader than you ever realized. Because when you have someone just as motivated as you, just as excited as you, willing to do the kind of work that you do, you realize leadership isn't actually hard at all. Leadership, when you have the right person, is like the easiest thing you've ever done. Like I said, leading Micah Folsom isn't hard. She's breastfeeding a baby and inviting with her right hand while she takes notes. I don't know, maybe with her kneecap. I'm not sure what, but she's not a hard person to lead because she leads herself. And so if you really do leadership right, you're not necessarily trying to lead other humans as much as you are trying to partner with other humans that are already going somewhere that can just get there faster when they have a partner. Does that make sense? Take a girl willing to actually work out every day and drink her Shakeology and follow the meal plan. That girl's not hard to lead. She just needs someone to partner with her because she is going to have some bad days. And on those bad days, she needs somebody to talk her out of it. Correct? She's going to have some days where she gets on the scale and it gives a number that she doesn't really like. And she's going to need someone to remind her that the scale isn't everything. It's just a measuring unit. It's just a part of the process. Maybe you put on some muscle this week, girl. Maybe you got some booty gains. I don't know. But I'm just going to tell you the scale isn't everything. Those people aren't hard to lead. They just needed a partner on the journey because no one is that great by themselves. And so I kind of wrote this book, honestly, to take the pressure off of being the perfect leader. I don't even think anybody wants a perfect leader. I mean, can we just be real for a second? When you see someone that's perfect, a lot of times it's kind of like a negative thing to even say that about them, right? No one is like, oh my God, she is so perfect. It's more like, oh my God, she is so perfect. It's like, fuck you. When I hear people that make $100,000 in their first 3 months of business, I'm like, fuck you, okay? I don't want to even talk to you because apparently you have something the rest of us don't, and I don't even need your advice because you can't help me, right? Your struggle is your power. You got to remember that. I don't need to be perfect, man. You know what J Max told me when I joined the John Maxwell team? He says, here's the thing. Before you even get your certification, get out there and practice on people. Take your friends out for coffee and just start asking them questions and see how good you can do this. Just start taking anything and everything that you're learning, just go do it. You guys want to hear something crazy? I don't say this a whole lot. I might have mentioned it in my book. I don't really remember. I built a 6-figure business before I got my official certified word next to my name. Didn't even have the word certified. For those of you that have messages in your inbox from 4.5 years ago, wasn't even certified yet. J Max said, go for it. And I said, yes, sir. Let's go. And it was scary. Some of you are like, yeah, but Josh, I don't have a big transformation yet. I don't give a fuck. Have you figured out one thing? Cool. Go help somebody figure out that one thing. Seems like, if anything, it's a little less pressure to have to teach them everything because you only know one thing. That sounds awesome. To be honest, the more I learn, the more pressure it is. When I got shit in my bio that says I mentored 10 plus top 10 coaches, I'm like, damn it, they're really expecting something good tonight. Back in the day when I didn't have any of that, I was like, honestly, I just got to say one good thing and people will probably be happy. Now I feel like I got to say 70 good things. If you have only lost 5 pounds, congratulations. You are only responsible for teaching others how to lose 5 pounds. And that just sounds awesome to me. I can't imagine how good it must feel to only have to promise people that you can help them lose 5 pounds. Like, I wish so bad that I could just make that promise these days. Say, you know what? The only thing I've ever done is made $500 in my first year. I don't know a lot, but I can teach you how to do that. I could definitely teach anyone how to make $500. Do you want to know, for those of you who only make 4 figures, do you want to know how to make 5 figures? You just help 1 or 2 other people figure out how to make 4 figures. See, some of you think that in order to get to 5 figures, somehow you have to know how to teach other people how to get 5 figures. That doesn't make sense. Do you really think that the top coaches were all successful before they became top coaches? Like, do you see how stupid that is? Well, I just don't know how to recruit because I don't have the transformation like she does. I don't have the story that she does. I don't have the mansion that she does. I didn't get my first Bentley yet. I didn't buy my first beach house yet. At some point, homegirl had to recruit people without having any of that. I had to go to social media and just say, I'm on the John Maxwell team. Would you be interested in a free session? I couldn't say, oh yeah, I also helped other people rank advance. Oh yeah, I helped people go top 10. Oh yeah, I've trained thousands of people. I'm #1 bestseller. All I had to do was say, do you want a free session? Like, that's all I got. Like, I don't know. What do you do? I'm like, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out in the free session. Like, do you want a free session or not? I don't really know what I do. Like, you want to show up and find out? Sounds fun, right? I just had to want it bad enough to go after it, even when I had nothing going my way. I had to want it bad enough. And that is how you eventually multiply. The way you eventually multiply, not like tomorrow or next week, sometimes not even next year, is you bring everything you've got. And you make sure the bus is going somewhere. And when the bus is going somewhere, over and over and over and over, eventually somebody wants to go for a ride. And some of those people are stupid and crazy, and they end up wrecking the bus and jumping out windows and doing weird stuff. But you know what? If enough of those crazy people come along, eventually somebody comes along that's willing to help you drive, that's willing to help you navigate, that's willing to go the distance with you. And all of a sudden, multiply happens almost on autopilot just because the right person finally got on the bus. I know I've brought up Micah like 4 times, but I feel like she's the perfect example. Homegirl went top 10 in 2014, and she's been in the top 20 every year since. Now, I'm not saying that anyone needs to go top 10 or top 20. Like, if that's whatever. My only point is it shows the consistency of her staying in phase 1 year after year after year after a year. In 2014, she was the only elite person in her entire downline. 2015, only elite girl in her whole downline. 2016, 2 girls go elite. 2017, neither of those girls go elite. 2018, those 2 girls make a comeback and go elite, and like 6 other girls go elite. And now, 2019, I think she'll probably have 10 or 15 girls go elite. But that's the compound of 5 years just since she hit top 10. We're not even talking about since she started like really going all in. That was 2 years before that. So we're talking about the equivalent of 8 years of showing up and driving the bus every single day, not worried about whether or not anyone joined her, trusting that if she took the thing somewhere, somebody would. 8 years. Now, I will say, Micah is way less emotional than any of us. I'm like an emotional wreck. I'm like all over the place, okay? But that's what we all have to learn to do, is to use our emotions when it benefits us, when we're pouring out energy into other people, when we're pouring out love on other people. But we got to be careful to hold back our emotions when they're trying to manipulate the situation and sabotage everything that's going on. In other words, I'm going to pour my emotions into my posts, into my stories, into my invites, into my lives. But when homegirl says that she's my next rock star, I'm going to pull back the emotions and say, girl, I love you so much. Okay, great, awesome. We'll see what happens. I think we tend to do the opposite. We don't pour our emotions into the parts of the business that need it. And we pour all of our emotions into other people because we were hoping they were our saving grace. Guys, I just want to close by saying this. You are your only saving grace. You're it. Now, I do personally believe in a creator. I do personally have some spiritual beliefs about partnering with a creator. But I've just watched way too many people think that their creator was supposed to come fix all of their problems and save them from everything that's happening in their life. And I just think that's bullshit. I think that there is a law of cause and effect, of sowing and reaping. And I do believe in partnering. I believe in partnering with my creator, but I'm not stupid enough to think that my creator sows the seed and waters it and gives it sunshine so that I can just sit around on my ass reaping a harvest all day and night. If you disagree with me, it's okay. It's okay. But I just want you, if you do disagree with me, to take me up on this dare. I want you to eat 1 pint of Ben & Jerry's every single night before you go to bed for the next 90 days. Okay? And I want you to pray over it first. And if after 90 days you do not gain a single pound, call me and I will change over my entire belief system on life. But if you do put on weight, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. That we have a responsibility for our own actions. And it doesn't mean that we're alone, and it doesn't mean that there isn't help, but it does mean that there's responsibility. And it does mean that our actions somehow contribute to our results. And if that's the case, we need to take some responsibility for those actions if we want to get different results. So I hope you enjoyed tonight. If you don't already have a copy of this, you can get it on Amazon. You can get the ebook for $9.99 or a printed copy for $19.99. Do me a huge favor. Leave me a positive review if you enjoy it. If you hate it, don't worry about the whole reviews. Just pretend it doesn't exist, okay? Haley, Thanks for having me.
Oh my God. That was the best. I loved it so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Joe.
Oh, wow. Someone said, what is the book? It's just F Leadership.
Yeah, you can just look up my name. Just search on Amazon for Josh Coates.
I'll
That's
definitely
probably-
give you a review. Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Does anybody have any questions? I just have a bunch of mic drops written down. So anybody, feel free. I'll probably be harassing you too, Josh, to work with you even closer. You're amazing.
Come harass me.
I will.
Where do you guys live, Haley?
I live in North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Where at?
Wilmington.
Wilmington. I'm horrible with geography. What is from Charlotte? How far is that?
4 hours.
Okay, so not super close.
No.
What's the closest airport?
Wilmington.
Oh, that is okay. So there's an airport there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to come hang out with you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, come on through.
Yeah, and
We can talk some sports, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Where are you from?
So I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
I grew up in Wichita, Kansas, but I live in Tulsa. Pretty much all my family lives here. And thankfully, my girlfriend's family lives here too. So I'm stuck for life.
Well, this was so amazing. I really can't even thank you enough. It was so great.
More than welcome. Someone asked how they can figure out how to work with me. So I do only work with people one-on-one by application. But if you want to get into my training groups, you can go to joshcoates.com. I have something called the Push Mastermind. That is, I talk about this in the book several different times. Basically, we have weekly calls. But what it's really famous for is we put you on a daily tracker. It's on like a Google sheet. Your name is on there. The activities that you're supposed to do on a daily basis that will eventually get you to success are on there. And you got to check off those activities every single day in a public spreadsheet. And on Sundays, we shut down the tracker and we calculate your activities that you've done. If you fall below 85% of the activities, we tag you in a post, and then you get 48 hours to make up your activities or get kicked out of the group. It's so freaking rad because I got sick and tired of people paying me money not to do any work. I was like, I got to fix this, man. I've made way too much money off of people who end up not actually doing anything with the training, and we got to fix that. So I am all in on the accountability, what I call true accountability, which means you show up or we call you out. Because otherwise, all you guys, I love you to death. I love you, and I'm not looking at anybody in the eyeballs right now, okay? But you guys like to post on Instagram and make 70 stories a day and pretend you have a business. That's not a business. My kids do that, okay? That's not a business. A business, working on yourself every day. You should be doing personal development. You should be doing affirmations. You should be writing down your goals every single day. But you should also be expanding your network. You should be building up relationships. You should be asking people to join your team. You should be tracking all of that shit. And then you should be following up with people. That is a business. And I know some of you are like, damn, I don't want to do all that. Well, that's what it takes to have a business. Like, what did you think having your own business was like? Did you really think it was like posting on Instagram and money showing up? No, that's not a business, nor is it reality. So anyways, okay, I'll shut up again.
No, I'm just so excited to take action and just like be more of a model. Just like you were saying, I used to do all the things, show up like 3 times a day, go live once a day. And then I was just like, well, I'm good. You know, and now anyway, I'm just completely changing everything because of your book. And I'm like, so grateful.
I'm glad to hear that. Well, hit me up, girl, and let's chat.
I will. Thank you so much. Thanks again. I'll talk to you.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.